Have you ever looked in the mirror and wondered, when did time move so fast? One day, you're chasing toddlers around the living room, and the next, you're carefully stepping off a curb and double-checking your calendar for yet another doctor's appointment. Life moves in the blink of an eye, doesn't it? And sometimes, aging feels like it's pulling the joy right out from under us. But here's the truth: getting older isn't the end of something. It's the beginning of a new, deeper, and often more meaningful chapter. You've earned every wrinkle, every laugh line, every silver strand of hair. But that doesn't mean you have to settle for slowing down or fading into the background. No, not even close. This stage of life can be vibrant, fulfilling, and joyful if you learn how to embrace it the right way. That's what we're here to talk about today. This isn't about fighting aging, it's about embracing it. Not just surviving each day, but really living it. In this video, we're going to explore 5 powerful, life-changing ways to welcome aging with open arms and discover more joy at every stage. These aren't complicated tricks or overnight makeovers. They're simple shifts, little habits, and mindsets that can change how you experience life after 60. So, let's begin with something that's often overlooked, but can change everything: letting go of Campari. Son, have you ever caught yourself thinking, I used to be able to do that? Or comparing yourself to someone younger, maybe even your younger self. It happens to all of us, but comparison is a thief, and it rarely steals anything but your peace. Whether it's your body, your energy levels, or even your memory, it's easy to feel like something's been lost. But what if we stopped focusing on what's no longer the same, and started celebrating what's still here? What's even stronger, you have wisdom now, perspective, the ability to laugh at things that would have made your blood boil years ago. You've loved, lost, and learned. You've survived every hard day you thought you couldn't. That kind of strength doesn't show up in a reflection, it lives in your spirit. So next time that little voice creeps in and tries to compare your now to your then, gently remind yourself, I'm not who I used to be. I'm something even better. Because when you let go of comparison, you make room for gratitude. And gratitude is a powerful thing. It's what makes the ordinary moments feel extraordinary. A morning coffee, a bird outside the window, a deep breath in the sunshine. When you're not comparing, you're noticing. And when you're noticing, you're living. Now, let's talk about another beautiful shift that makes aging not just easier but richer: staying curious. You know, people often think that curiosity is a young person's game. But the truth is, curiosity might just be your greatest superpower as you age. When you stay curious about people, hobbies, books, nature, or even yourself, you stay alive. Not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You start asking questions again. What if I tried painting? What if I joined that walking group? What if I learned to play the ukulele? I once had a patient in her late 70s who decided, after decades of raising a family and working hard, that she was going to learn Italian. Not because she was traveling there, not because anyone told her to, but because she had always dreamed of it. And I'll never forget what she said: it makes me feel like I'm growing again. That's what curiosity does. It stretches us. It gives our days a sense of purpose. And no, you don't have to dive into something big or complicated. Even reading about a topic you've never explored or trying a new recipe can light that spark again. You see, as we get older, routines become comfortable, but too much routine can quietly dull our joy. Curiosity breaks that pattern. It tells your brain, hey, we're not done yet. And guess what? You're not. Maybe you've always wanted to write a little story about your childhood, or learn how to use that camera collecting dust in the closet. Maybe you just want to know what all the fuss is about with podcasts. Whatever it is, go for it. The point isn't perfection, it's participation. Life doesn't stop being interesting unless you stop looking for what's interesting in life. And here's something to think about. When you combine gratitude with curiosity, something magical happens. You start noticing beauty again in people, in places, in your own thoughts. You begin each day not with what will hurt today, but with what will I discover today. That small change in mindset can make a big difference in how joyful and alive you feel. Now, I want to ask you something. When was the last time you truly laughed, like full belly, tears in your eyes kind of laughter? If it's been a while, you're not alone. Sometimes life just gets heavy, and we forget how healing joy can be. But here's the thing, joy isn't just a feeling. It's a choice, a practice, and it's one of the most powerful ways to stay young in spirit. So, we've already started looking at how letting go of comparison and staying curious can lead to a more joyful and graceful aging process. But there's more to this story, much more, and you don't want to miss what's coming next. So let's keep going. We've already talked about how letting go of comparison and staying curious can open doors to a more joyful, vibrant life after 60. But now, I want to shift our focus to something a little deeper, something many people overlook until they realize how much it matters: connection. Now, I don't mean having a big crowd around you all the time. I mean true connection, the kind where you feel seen, heard, valued. At this stage of life, relationships might look a little different. Children grow up and move away. Friendships change, and sometimes we lose people we deeply cared about. It can start to feel like your world is getting smaller. But here's the beautiful part: you still have the power to expand it again. One heartfelt conversation, one shared laugh, one afternoon spent with someone who makes you feel like you. That's all it takes to remind your heart that it still matters. Because it does. Whether it's chatting with your neighbor over morning coffee, calling up a childhood friend just to reminisce, or joining a book club or gardening group in your community. These moments of connection nourish the soul in a way nothing else can. And it's not just emotional, it's physical, too. Studies show that meaningful relationships can reduce stress, boost immune function, even lower the risk of chronic illness. You could take all the vitamins in the world, but nothing replaces the healing power of human warmth. We were made to belong, and that doesn't stop as we get older. If anything, it becomes even more vital. But sometimes, reaching out feels hard, especially if you've been hurt or let down in the past. That's okay. Start small. Smile at someone new. Send a card to someone who's been on your mind. Open up a little bit when someone asks how you're doing. You don't have to build a circle overnight, just light one small candle of connection and let the glow spread from there. And here's something else to keep in mind. Connection isn't always about other people. It can also mean reconnecting with yourself. Maybe for the first time in decades, you finally have space to breathe, to reflect, to ask yourself, what do I actually want today? That kind of self-honesty is powerful. Don't be afraid to sit in silence with your thoughts. Don't be afraid to rediscover who you are without all the roles you've had to play. You're not just someone's parent, grandparent, or neighbor. You are you, and that's worth celebrating. Now, speaking of celebration, let's talk about movement. Yes, movement. Not exercise in the way we used to think of it, pushing hard, sweating buckets, feeling sore for days. No, I'm talking about gentle, joyful, life-giving movement that your body actually craves. Our bodies were built to move, but not in punishment. In celebration. Movement keeps the joints happy, the heart strong, and the mind clear. But more importantly, it reminds you that you're still capable. You don't have to run a marathon to enjoy the benefits. A slow walk in the sunshine, a gentle stretch first thing in the morning, dancing in the kitchen to your favorite song from the 60s, even planting flowers in the garden or vacuuming the living room counts. If it gets your body going and brings a smile to your face, that's movement that matters. And here's the best part: it's never too late to start. One of the most inspiring women I ever met started chair yoga at 84. She told me, I figured if I can't do everything, I can at least do something. That something made a world of difference. Her balance improved. Her sleep got better. But more than anything, she felt proud of herself again. That's what we all need, a reason to feel proud of the body we live in, no matter what it looks like. Movement isn't about getting back to where you were. It's about meeting your body where it is right now, thanking it for carrying you this far, and giving it just a little love in return. So go ahead, put on your walking shoes, stretch your arms overhead, take a few deep breaths. You're not too old to move. You're too alive not to. Now, as we explore what it means to age gracefully, I want to share a little reminder that often gets lost in all the talk about staying active and positive. It's okay to slow down. In fact, sometimes slowing down is the most powerful thing you can do. We live in a world that worships speed, fast results, fast answers, fast everything. But aging invites us to do something different, something wiser. It invites us to pause. When you move slower, you see more. You notice the light coming through the window in the morning. You hear the birds outside. You savor your tea instead of gulping it down. You listen, really listen, to what someone is saying. This kind of slowness isn't weakness, it's presence. And presence is where the magic of life happens. You don't have to race anymore. You've done enough of that. Now is the time to linger, to rest without guilt, to say no without explanation, to live at your own pace. Because this is your life, and it deserves to be lived in a way that feels true, not rushed. So let your days be a little quieter, a little more thoughtful. Let your moments stretch out and breathe. You don't need to be everywhere, doing everything. You just need to be here, fully, gently, gratefully. Because when you stop rushing through life, life has a way of meeting you right where you are with peace, beauty, and yes, joy. By now, you might be starting to feel it, that quiet reassurance that aging doesn't mean fading. It means unfolding, deepening, becoming even more of yourself. And with everything we've already touched on, there's still one last piece I want to share with you. It's something simple, something powerful, something that can transform even the hardest days into something meaningful. Gratitude. I know, you've heard the word before. It's all over books and podcasts and social media. But I'm not talking about a trendy habit here. I'm talking about something deeper. A kind of quiet noticing. A shift in perspective that opens your heart to joy, not because life is perfect, but because you've decided to see what's still good. And goodness is always there, even in small ways. The warmth of a blanket, the taste of fresh fruit, a phone call from someone you love, the sound of rain tapping on the windowsill. These are the things that, if we're not careful, slip right by us. But if we pause, if we really look, we realize they've been waiting all along. Like little gifts from the universe saying, you're still here, you're still living. Don't miss this. Gratitude doesn't mean pretending everything is fine when it's not. It doesn't ignore loss or illness or loneliness. It simply reminds us that even in the middle of it all, light still shines through the cracks. And when you train your eyes to find the light, your whole world begins to shift. A woman once told me she started keeping a thank you notebook after her husband passed. At first, she could only write one thing a day. I made it through today. But little by little, she began to notice more. The daffodils bloomed. My grandson made me laugh. The soup tasted just right. Over time, that little notebook became a lifeline. It didn't change what she'd lost, but it changed the way she carried it. That's the power of gratitude. It doesn't erase the pain, but it wraps it in something softer, something kinder. And you don't need a notebook to practice it. Just a moment. You can start right now. As you sit here listening, take a deep breath and ask yourself, what can I be thankful for today? It might be something big, or something as simple as waking up this morning. Whatever it is, let it settle in your chest. Let it warm you from the inside out. Because when you live with gratitude, you start to see that joy doesn't always come in grand, sweeping gestures. Sometimes it's a quiet moment in your favorite chair, a memory that makes you smile, a sunset that feels like it was painted just for you. These are the treasures of this season of life. Not flashy, but real, deep, sacred. And if you ever feel like joy is hard to find, start by giving it. You'd be amazed how powerful small acts of kindness can be. Compliment someone. Send a note. Share your story. When you lift someone else, you lift yourself too. That's the beautiful paradox of joy. It grows the more you give it away. There's something else I want you to hear before we wrap up. Maybe no one said this to you in a while. Maybe you've gone years without hearing it. But I want you to hear it now, loud and clear. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible. You are still needed. Your wisdom matters. Your presence matters. You carry experiences and insights that this world desperately needs. And aging doesn't take that away, it amplifies it. You've walked through so many seasons. You've known joy, sorrow, love, grief, laughter, and change. That makes you strong. That makes you valuable. Don't let anyone or any number tell you otherwise. You're not done yet. There is still beauty ahead. There are still stories to be told. Still songs to hum. Still hands to hold. Still meals to enjoy and books to read and sunrises to watch. You're living proof that life is worth showing up for. No matter the year on your birth certificate. And if some days feel heavy, let them. Let them pass through like a storm. And remember, storms don't last forever. The sun always finds a way back in. So keep your heart open. Keep your eyes soft. Keep your spirit curious and kind. You're not just aging, you're becoming. You're growing into the fullness of your soul. And that, my friend, is something worth celebrating. So if this video touched something in you, let me know in the comments. Share one way you found joy in this season of life. Your words might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. If you haven't already, go ahead and tap that like button. That helps others find this message too. And if you'd like more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe. We've got so many beautiful, empowering topics ahead, and I'd love to walk through them with you. But for now, I'll leave you with this. You are not too old. You are not too late. This moment, this breath, this life, it's yours. Live it fully. Live it gently. And never stop looking for joy. Because joy is always looking for you too. Here's to living your best life at any age. Goodbye and see you in the next video.